What is actually going on with total losses in our world right now? It seems like a lot of shops are spiraling over this. They're freaking out, and with good reason. What we've seen is total losses continuing to climb at an aggressive rate. We had actually an analyst I was talking to just the other day. He says in 2026, they fully expect that 30% of their work at the shop will total out. And of course, this is being driven by thresholds being lowered by insurance carriers. We've seen the threshold as low as 50% for some carriers. And this is driven in part by the salvage bids. They're getting a lot of money for these vehicles when they salvage them out. And that is part of the reason why they feel comfortable in lowering that threshold. Another thing that we're really starting to see is that parts are getting really expensive. The cost of repairs are driving up, and that pushes us up against those thresholds as well. Another thing is we're starting to see AI play a role here. Insurance companies are now leveraging AI from first notice of loss through what's called STP, or straight-through processing, where they will actually send the customer a link, get some photos uploaded, AI will analyze the damage and make a determination if it can total it out. If they can total it out, the goal is to bypass the shops and move it straight to the salvage yard. And that takes away a potential profit center. And so if total losses are a profit center, and a lot of shops are making $4,000 to $6,000 on a total loss, that's a nice little profit center. They're actively working to bypass the shops. And so these are things that are a little bit alarming, and there's a lot of shops that are out there hoping that things will normalize, settle down, and go back to the way it was. Hope is unfortunately not a strategy. So what I want to share with you is a few tips and tricks from other shops out there that we've been talking to that seem to be working for them. Some of them are kind of aggressive, and it might not be for everybody, but at least I'll put them in front of you and hopefully share some ideas. So number one, we're starting to see shops really look at their local laws and understand what they can do, and taking the time to understand the best way to leverage your total losses. And so definitely do that. But this one here is interesting to me, and I was a little bit taken aback when I first heard it, is some of the shops are now using the inefficiencies of the insurance company to make sure vehicles don't total as readily. So the way they're doing that is they're going back to curb written estimates. So rather than building a full repair plan that totals out a vehicle, what they're finding is if they just write a curb written estimate like they used to do, the vehicle comes in and then they supplement it, the insurance companies are more likely to continue with the repair than write it off. Isn't that wild? I mean, it's a crazy world we're in, but that's what the shops are doing, and it seems to be helping them. The other thing is we're starting to see other shops reach out to shops in their state, friendly shops or people in their network, and they're asking them questions on how they're handling total losses just to get a bit of a better idea of even some of the local rules and regulations that they can leverage to their own advantage. So the other thing to think about is making this into a customer experience. And one of the things that I can share with you is 87% of vehicles, when they're totaled out, 87% of those vehicle owners will actually go to a different brand. So if they're currently driving whatever, a BMW, they might go to a Lexus vehicle after that fact. 87% defection from that brand. And so we're seeing dealers being very sensitive around this, and we're seeing vehicle manufacturers being very sensitive around this. So this is something that you can leverage to your advantage. And so we're talking about how do we make sure that when a vehicle is totaled out, you can actually send that over to a participating dealer that you work with as a sales lead. Now, through Body Shop Booster, we actually have AI and automations that do that automatically for you, but you can always do that manually as well. When a vehicle totals out, you can hand over that sales lead potentially to that dealer and make a warm introduction. And what this does is it endears your relationship with that dealer, so you get more referrals from them for vehicles, and that's a great play as well. Finally, I'll just say this. Make sure you're making it into a great customer experience. A lot of times customers who've gone through the total loss experience have a negative connotation or a bad taste in their mouth after using that body shop. So what you can do is make this into an incredible experience so your customer feels that they've been taken care of, and then on top of that, it's going to make sure that you get any of their future repairs. So those are a few quick ideas. Get out there and crush it, and take advantage of this time in your market to really leverage this to your advantage, because a lot of shops are sitting there hoping things will change. Don't hope, go out there and take action.